Alrighty, good afternoon, YouTube. Hajim Zero here, back with another quick movie review. This one is continuing to do the Matrix. This is the Matrix Reloaded. Again, majority of the returning cast from the first movie, well, the ones that survived at least, are back in this movie. The new additions, of course, is Roy Jones Jr., Monica Bellucci, Jada Pinkett, and I can't remember the gentleman's name that played the guy that played the operator on the Nebuchadnezzar link. Yeah, I can't remember his name, but he's a good known actor. If you guys ever seen Constantine, the TV show, he played Michael, and he's been in other films too. What was it? The Best Man, and let's see, other one I'm thinking of, the HBO show Oz. Uh, and of course, there's some other known actors off the top of my head. I really can't think of it. Oh yeah, Collin Chou's in this. It's funny with his role because originally they wanted Jet Li and or Michelle Yeoh to portray his character of Seraph, and Jet Li had asked for too much money. He wanted the same as Keanu Reeves. I'm trying to think of who else is in this. It's just running through my head. Ah, um, pretty much with this one and the third one, I really believe the center, well, this particular film in general, of all three of the movies, I think they spent the most like money. They said in particular the freeway chase, and they devoted a lot of time to it. But pretty much the story of this, Neo and the humans, they're continuing, to survive, and now the machines got more advanced. Some of their old tactics really don't work anymore. They made a new weapon that's pretty much like a homing bomb, which was one of the main key things. That's pretty much the weight and glue of how the one of the first stages of the machines advancing, and pretty much in this one, like the first movie, Neo finds out what the Matrix is, as well as the audience. And in this one, you find out, how the Matrix works. And there's so many layers, more expansion of the whole, universe of characters and concepts in this movie as well. You know, but in my opinion, a lot of people looking at it today, versus when it came out. When it first came out, it was extraordinary, but now people look back at it and they talk a lot of shit, mainly with the visual effects. But if you really think about it, if they didn't do this, pretty much like what Star Wars did with their effects, the action movie industry wouldn't be what it is today. And it's kind of funny how they give a lot of crap, you know, on this movie of how generated and things are. I was like, well, number one, look at the subject matter. You're dealing with, it's a story of a computer generated, dream world. And then two, movies like the Avengers and a lot of these action films, they have, it's the same thing. It's pretty much like what I said in my Green Lantern review of how people shitted on that, and yet already Robert Downey Jr. is doing the same thing with Iron Man, but y'all ain't giving him no hate. But people were tripping about that, out about how the whole suit was CG. But some other known facts, that's pretty much what it is, straightforward. The philosophical existentialist tones are really expanded in this, mainly on, I think mainly this one weighed more heavy on choice and causality, in my opinion, especially when the Merovingian talks about cause and effect. And it's kind of funny because we live in a world today where a lot of people can't grasp on that concept or that logic, in general, especially when they do certain things or say certain things and they're tripping about a certain backlash, but that's a whole other thing. And then how they say how choice really isn't real. One way or another, something is generated for you to make a certain choice. Same thing with, it goes a little bit with causality, with cause and effect, in a way. But some other things I wanted to say on this movie that I didn't get to say on the last one, especially with the whole idea where it came from. Of course, I said that black lady from Australia had came up, who was pretty much the whole mother of the Matrix. Like, that whole idea was really, it came from her. But the comic book creator Grant Morrison, I remember watching a documentary, uh, I think about him on the Mobius artist, or it could have been just a documentary about him. But the funny thing is that he created a comic book before this movie had even came out with some similar themes, even down to like everyone dressed up in black leather and shades. The funny thing is that he really didn't trip, on them using that idea, if we had to hook up, there was Wachowskis to a lie detector test and ask him about it. I really believe Grant Morris inside of the story because when I saw it and I looked it up, I was like, yeah, there's a lot of similarities. I think even with the agents, you know, that whole idea was there. But I can't remember the name of the comic book. You can again look it up. Grant Morrison is a known comic book creator. Him and Warren Ellis, they go hand in hand, and pretty much you can definitely tell this looks like something that Grant Morrison would create. And even with the whole transgender thing, even he experimented with the cross-dressing thing at one point, just to stimulate how his mind is really out there, as well as the other creators behind this. Even one of the comic book, well, he writes and draws, I believe, but he did some of the storyboards on this. Even he's a good known comic book creator. And pretty much the last factor why another reason I like the Matrix series, it really opened up my mind to different, genre of music. And as well as the Fast and the Furious did, with electronica and rock, and it really opened up my taste, into getting into that. And this movie, as well as the first Fast and Furious, was the whole reason why that happened, and I'm really grateful for it. Like I said, it got me. This movie had me, well, the first one at least, or the whole series, pretty much had me elevated and thinking in many different ways. Um, but yeah, like I said, that comment box is always open. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.